Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Justin and I like motorbikes. And today we're going to be taking a look at some travel comforts on my still very naked 2024 Husky Norden 901 Expedition. This is a bike that I ride primarily off-road these days. I like doing adventure trails, BDRs, basically places where I can get off pavement and enjoy the dirt characteristics of this bike. It's honestly where I fell in love with the bike. When it was just a pavement princess, I had a hard time understanding why I bought it. But once I got it off-road, I understood very quickly, and I've come to appreciate what it can do for me off-road. So this is a great travel bike. It's a very good off-road bike, and it does many things very well. But as I continue to try to find ways to make it work for me, I keep wanting to make different changes. And one of those changes is what we're going to be making here today, specifically on the back half. So you'll see that I have these Hepco & Becker luggage racks. And even though I ran soft bags last summer, the Nelson Rig Hurricane Adventure saddlebags, there's a review of those on this channel, and I liked them, they still added some unnecessary weight because I did use the quick release plates, which are awfully heavy and just made the bike a little bit more than I wanted as far as having to pick it up. And because I'm a crap off-road rider, picking it up happens often. I'm also not in the position where I usually end up carrying passengers. And by usually, I mean I've never actually carried a passenger on this bike. So if I don't carry passengers, I don't need passenger foot pegs. And if I don't want extra weight, I should probably go rackless. But that raises a valid question. Where am I going to fasten the lower straps of my rackless luggage? And today, that is what we're going to solve. So what I'm going to replace those luggage racks and passenger foot peg perches with is what's in front of you. It's from a company called Rottweiler Performance. They make aftermarket parts as well as sell some OEM parts for Husqvarna, KTM, and I believe Gas as well. I've purchased a few things from them over the years, and they have come out with these basically luggage tie-down straps that mount in the passenger foot peg perch holes. So I think you could probably run them with the passenger foot pegs, but it wouldn't be very comfortable for your passenger. So in my case, I'm just going to install them and remove the passenger foot peg perches. They're aluminum, they're lightweight, and they give me the ability to find a good tie-down point for the rackless luggage systems that I am planning on running this year. Yes, I said systems, and no, that doesn't mean I'm being sponsored by Lone Rider or Moscow or any of the others with the $1,000 plus rackless systems. For this year, I may run the existing giant loop that I have, or I may run something slightly cheaper. And once we get to that point in the video, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So step one is removing these Hepco & Becker racks. They make a great rack. I've had them now on 3 different bikes, and they're perfect for what I need. I also have aluminum or aluminium panniers for them as well, and I like them a lot. They're just not the type of riding and type of style I wanted to go for in this particular bike configuration. So it's time that they go. You'll see they do attach here to the backside of these passenger foot peg perches, which is why I'm removing them. I'd always meant to remove them. I wanted to go rackless. I was going to keep the passenger foot pegs, but I think for the weight savings, it makes sense to go with this different option. All right, so after a little bit more faffery than what was probably needed, I have the OE bolts back in where they go. I can now pick up the remainder of the Hepco & Becker installation hardware from their luggage rack and, case carriers, case rails, case rack, whatever. Now go on to install and take off the foot peg mounts. All right, so before I take the passenger foot peg perches off, thought it was important that I throw the passenger seat back on here so we can talk about rackless luggage. So kind of a before and after, if you will. And my rackless luggage setup for this bike, for what I'm planning on doing, is from the Amazon Darlings Rhino Walk. I'll hold here to let you laugh for a little while. That's kind of how they sit. These are 28 liter. They were $115 US on Amazon. I literally just pulled them out of the box. So we're clear, they came packaged very, very well. And for $115, they could fail the first time. And I think I'd be okay with it. So for a quick overnight, I think that's what I'm going to go with. Now, admittedly, I did also buy the 48 liter Rhino Walks because those were $147. And I think if those failed the first time, I would probably still be okay with it. The amount of self-loathing and hatred would be down to normal levels still. They're still going to be better quality than the crappy rack soft bag system that came with my Norden 901 Expedition. I'll let you look that up if you're curious. Needless to say, if you have a Norden and you're looking for an accessory, don't buy the bags. They look cool. The racks are well made. The bags are not. And to be honest with you, yeah, definitely not something I would do again. I didn't buy this bike for the luggage, obviously, but I'm not saying that would have kept me from buying the bike, but I might have asked them to leave that in the shipping crate when they got the bike out. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with Rhino Walk. Like I said, I've also got Giant Loop. I've got some Kriega. I've got the OS base for this, but the OS base for the 901 requires you to take off these handles. And I've come to be a fan of these handles because you can lift the bike out of precarious positions with them, and I've become a huge fan of that. I know there are other grab points on the bike, and I'm 100% willing to use those other grab points when I have to, but I like having those handles. And so the fact that I can leave those on and still mount these Rhino Walks, yeah, I'm really good with that. So, all right. So previously, when you installed a set of bags, and these are all twisted around, I should do a better job of this, but I'm a horrible YouTuber as well as a horrible off-road rider, so, you know, you get it. These have they have cam buckles. The bags I can obviously show you what the bags look like and everything. We can do a review of these after I get a chance to use them, but previously what you would do is you would strap them around these passenger foot pegs. Let me grab the camera here so you can see what I'm talking about. So, all right, here you go, mobile cam. Previously you would run these straps around, obviously, these passenger foot pegs and run them up, and that would work. But again, I've never carried a passenger on this bike, so to use those simply as luggage hangers, I can do better. And that's what I'm going to do. So let's put on at least the first Rottweiler luggage loop and give it a shot. If you're keeping track at home and you care about this sort of stuff, the bit that takes these off is a Torx T40. At least the bit that was supposed to does. All right, let's try that again. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop the seat back off, and also maybe this side cover to try to get a little bit better view. So on the Norden, the seat comes off with the key down here. You can get a one-finger trigger if you don't want to take your key out to get your seat off, just like that. And the side covers, put the key back because I know I'll lose that if I don't. And the side covers pop off. Let's move the easy can. Spoiler alert, that's why the bike is naked right now. More to come on that. And there are a couple of tabs on this, so we'll pop that off. Make sure I don't drop my ratchet in horrendous fashion, and this pops off on the side. There we go. All right, so real quick, one thing I want to show you. I found this a couple days ago. I've owned this bike since March of 24, and I found this a couple days ago, so I've obviously not had it apart very much, but this, both of these side covers have this internal little case. It's kind of neat. I'm sure other bikes have the same thing. I don't know if the 890s or the 790s do as well, but it's kind of cool. It's not waterproof, obviously, but if you needed to put your registration documents or something in a Ziploc bag or whatever to waterproof them, or you needed to keep some quick tools in it, it's a pretty neat setup. So kind of happy to have found that. Both sides have one, so it's kind of cool, and it's a nice little addition on the bike. All right. It is the next day. I got a little bit pissed off at this thing and had to start over, so all part of the game. You'll see that we are minus a passenger foot peg and perch on the shift side. So you'll also notice the chain guard is off. I had to do that to get the tools in to actually get it off. There it is. There's the safety Torx that I beat the ever-living crap out of, and here's the hero of the day. This little Hercules impact from Harbor Freight, say what you will, did what was needed to do, and the being able to set it down on power to let it just glug away to bust those bolts out was super helpful. So, with that said, again, bikes still apart, obviously. Now I have the fun of taking off the exhaust. Not a big deal, thank God for slip-ons. And from there, can take off this side, because having foot pegs on just one side would be kind of weird. So, more to come, but we are finally making progress. So I sprayed some PB Blaster on the bolts over on that side to let those soak a little bit, and hopefully they can come off a little easier this time. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to spray a little cleaner on this chain guide here, or where the chain guide goes, try to get some of that wiped off before I put the chain guide back on. So yeah, trying to make the best use of my time. All right, so I've got the exhaust off. It's sitting over there, if you can see it. The Akrapovic slip-on. So got a Aero decat here on the bike, and now all I have to do is take off this set of foot pegs. So on the brake side, if you're keeping score at home, you do need to take off your exhaust in order to get to these. There's not a way to get to them otherwise, and yeah, just be prepared for that. Not a big deal, but just something to keep in mind. All right, so following up, it's been a couple of days, and that's because maybe I'm a crap mechanic. Maybe every time you work on something, you run into something like this. But things have escalated quickly. Obviously, as you can see, we have the exhaust off. That's a known thing you have to do when you go to take your left-hand side, or sorry, your right-hand side, your brake side passenger peg perch off. So that's pretty standard. I have a Akrapovic slip-on, so that's really easy to get off. Couple bolts. So no big deal there. Obviously your mileage may vary depending on how your exhaust is set up. What I did want to show you is the fact that it did escalate quickly. And you can see I have the smoke wrench, baby smoke wrench. Honestly, I think that worked. I think that helped burn up some of the red Loctite that was probably on these bolts. You'll see I have my instant flathead screw maker, otherwise known as a Dremel. 8-volt cordless Dremel for 80 bucks at Lowe's is not a horrible price. There you see I have my, my wrench plus my screwdriver, otherwise known as a piece of crap removing device, which actually worked really well. Credit to a YouTube channel where I found this after I was severely pissed off and not sure what to do next. And because I think it's worth showing you, see if it's cooled down enough. Not really. I'm going to set that back down. See if you can see that. See if the camera will zoom in. That's what the end of my Torx looks like. Yeah, if I go to put these pegs back on, and who knows, I'll buy new hardware. I don't know if the Husqvarna hardware is made of putty or if I'm just a shit mechanic. It's fully possible that both are true, but I want to show you this because not everything goes perfectly, obviously. If you've worked on any mechanical projects anytime in your life, you understand that. And these are the struggles I'm facing. So I've got this halfway off. I'm hoping I don't have to resort to the Dremel for the second Torx head. It's already a little bit stripped, but I think I can still get in there and get it out. So I'm going to work on that. And yeah, I think I'll set you up here so you can watch and see what goes on. Because yeah, I mean, if you want to crucify me in the comments, go ahead. But you know, it happens. And if everything went to plan, I guess maybe it wouldn't be as fun. Maybe it would be, maybe it'd be easier. But yeah, I wanted to show you the real story of how this went down. All right, and there we go. There it's out. You can see the this screw wasn't nearly as, or bolt wasn't nearly as molested as the last one. So that's a good thing. Nice to see some progress there. And now we have both perches off. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and then we'll install the Rottweiler luggage loops. So I'm gonna spray a little PB Blaster up here just to clean the holes, the bolt holes a little bit. It's going to drop out. It's going to look gross. It's good TV, good YouTube. Just try to get rid of some of that residue from the old thread locker that I think was the biggest issue I was having with this. So all right, let's install the brake side since we're here on the Rottweiler luggage loops. All right, so put a little thread locker here, Loctite on our bolts for this Rottweiler. I'm using blue because I think that'll hold it for what I need to hold it for and doesn't put me in the same situation I was just in. All right, so we've got that loosely on here. Go ahead and pick up the one I dropped. And we'll go ahead and put the other one on, and then we can tighten them up. So a little bit more thread locker just to keep them where we want them. All right. Okay, now we've got them started. I'm going to tighten them up and I'll bring you a little bit closer to see what it looks like. All right, so here you go. Here is the brake side of this Rottweiler luggage loop installed. To give you some more perspective, that's what it looks like when compared to where the rider foot peg is. I like that they taper it down, obviously, so it's less likely to get in my way as I'm on the bike riding, if I'm standing, if I'm in an aggressive riding position. These are not sharp corners. They are very blunt, so I don't have to worry about getting gouged. Obviously, if you go off and you have a nasty crash, then anything's possible, but that's a risk I'm willing to take with these. And yeah, I like the look of them. Will I keep them? Will I put back on the passenger pegs? Well, I guess time will tell, but I'm impressed with at least the installation so far. The removal, as you've seen, of the passenger peg perch was probably not my most favorite experience ever, but other than that, I think the Rottweiler piece of hardware itself looks good, and I look forward to trying it. So let me do the other side, then we'll come back and finish this video. All right, now the fun of putting the exhaust back on, which on this bike actually isn't that difficult. So again, I start with the top hanger. Don't have to do anything too crazy with that. Leave it loose for now. I need to put some Loctite on there, and I will do that. Yeah, that's the top hanger, and then we'll make sure everything lines up here, which it does. That's the nice part. It goes on one way. I'm a fan of the way that Akrapovic looks on this bike. It sounds good too, so it's not obnoxious, but it also sounds good. So for the longest time, I've wanted like an elephant trunk, like a MIV or a Moto Corsa on here, but I like the sound and the performance from the Akrapovic, so maybe I'll be good with that for now. We'll see. But let's put the clamp on, and then we can finish up this video. All right, so despite the fact the exhaust is on the opposite side, of course, I believe on this bike and probably on its KTM brothers as well, it's probably easier to tighten the bolt from the shift side or the left side of the bike. I'm going to start on the right side and get this clamp fitted up. Off camera, I did put Loctite on my bolt, of course, as you should. And then once you get it started, I have an extended reach T40 Torx. I can come over here and reach in here. And get it hand tight a little bit more before we fully snug it up. Make sure those are interlocked, make sure they're on. They are. Okay, see if we can do it with the ratchet now, just to make life a little easier on ourselves. And you should be able to see, if my hand isn't fully, probably another extension would have been good, but this works. And there we go. Our exhaust is reinstalled. All right, so here we are. We've got the side panels back on the bike. You can see here we have our Rottweiler luggage loops installed. I like the way they look. Along with the side panels, we'll go on to the other side here and take a look. Still have some tools out, so I need to do some cleaning. Still have some other projects to work through. You'll see I have the giant loop exhaust guard on there because I'm going to be doing, like I said, rackless luggage. And there's our Rottweiler luggage loop on the brake side. So it does look really good. I think it's going to be a nice addition, and excited to get them configured and get them set up with some luggage and use this thing. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna end the video there. Once I get this bike all put back together and get some luggage on here, maybe I'll make a second part to show you how they work, but for right now, as far as the install, that is it. This has been an interesting video for me. It's been a struggle, as you would have seen, getting those passenger peg perches off. Had to bring out the smoke wrench, or a baby smoke wrench. Had to get creative, and I learned some things, and that's the important part of doing this mechanicking. I'm not a mechanic by trade. I am in a technical profession, but I am not a mechanic by trade, as would be obvious if you watched anything I've done here on this channel. But I like to learn, I like to try, and I'm going to keep doing that, and I hope you keep watching. If you got something from this, give it a like. It would be super helpful. And if you're curious what other adventures I'm going to get into, be they successes or failures, they will be on here, and I'd really like to have you there. So if you're interested in seeing what those are, go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and I'm always going to do my best to earn your YouTube viewing time. If the weather is conducive to where you are to go riding, please do, and do so safely. As for me, I think I'm going to try to get out here and go riding a little bit. It's in the upper 60s, going to be 70. This is fake spring number 7 or 8 by this time, I think. And we'll see when the real one comes, but got this to get ready before that happens. So I'm going to keep trugging along on that, and I will see you in the next one.